You're listening to the 5-Minute Friday podcast episode of The Aligned Self. This is your host, Daniel Danovi. Okay, 5-Minute Friday, a short and concise podcast episode of The Aligned Self, designed to leave you with a question, an idea, a strategy, a tip, a hack, in order to give you greater access to your conscious awareness, evolving your conscious awareness, or give you greater mastery over your mind. Hello, friend, and welcome into this 5-Minute Friday. Today, I want to present you with a question to expand your awareness. And the question is who are you listening to? Which dialogue are you dialed into? From my point of view, as a human being, you are a spiritual entity. You are a spirit immersed in the human experience. And as such, your only real purpose here is to figure out who you want to be in relationship to reality. And then from that position, create the world, create the life that you want, that you desire. So in this determination about who you're going to be, there's essentially two dialogues you get to tune into. One is the outside world. Your parents, your peer group, your teachers, your religious institutions, the governmental institutions, the marketplace, such as the advertisers, the companies, they have a vested interest in determining who you're going to be. The other dialogue is an internal dialogue, an inner voice, an inner authority. And that's the one that I'm most concerned with. But the question for this 5-Minute Friday is, which one are you predominantly tuned into? If you are like most people, the majority of the people on the planet, then you, to a large degree, have acquiesced, given in to, surrendered to the feedback from the external world, their determination on who you should be, are, or could be. They've set the limits. And you have to understand what their interest is. They have a vested interest in you maintaining a certain amount of insecurity. Even people that, love you. Because even in the best of circumstances, this love is doled out to a certain extent conditionally. They don't want you to have too much power because they have their insecurity that they were brought up with. And, that's the point, that most people are not diabolical or manipulative, consciously manipulative in having you be a certain way. They're operating out of their own sense of insecurity that was imbued in them as they were growing up. So they're just handing off the torch. And so from the external world point of view, in order for you to conform, for you to fit in, they would like you to feel a little insecure, a little apprehensive about your life, feeling less than. Because if you feel less than, then you'll buy the products. Maybe you'll stay longer in the relationship if you feel insecure, dependent upon them, dependent upon your parents, dependent upon the marketplace. Because I have to tell you, the marketplace, the outside world, fears a person that doesn't need anything, that is self-fulfilled. But like I said in a couple episodes ago, part of my mission is that you become inner-directed, self-directed. In fact, I end every podcast with that declaration. Because you can only manifest the life you want, the one that you desire, to the degree that you are unencumbered, independent of the good will, the good esteem of others. You see, the moment you need their acceptance, the moment you need what they're selling, you have given up what you want. You have given up your agenda and acquiesced or given in to their program. I must like the word acquiesced. While I like the way it sounds, I don't like what it implies. It means to submit quietly, without protest, to willingly comply because you're afraid of rocking the boat. So, my friend, I ask you, which dialogue have you been listening to? Have you changed your behavior? Have you changed your approach, your decisions, your opinions in order to fit in, to be popular? Or are you comfortable sticking your neck out? Are you comfortable having a counter opinion? Do you spend the whole day just waiting to get home to where you can kick off your shoes and be yourself? Are you presenting the world something different than who you really want to be? Have you put your dreams on hold? Do you withhold actually telling people who you really are or expressing who you really are because you're afraid of how it will be perceived? I've known people that have expressed a heartfelt opinion, a considered opinion, only to have the marketplace, the people out there, jeer at them, heckle them, and basically subdue them into acquiescing and retracting their opinion. Oh, I didn't really mean that. You see, if we change our behavior in order to fit in, to gain other people's acceptance, then we are not living our life. We're living somebody else's idea of what our life could be or should be, which very often is at odds with what we feel in our heart. But my experience has informed me that the reason that we give in, surrender to outside pressure is because our own self-concept is so fragile that we can't bear them not liking us. Because we need that affirmation that we are somebody, that we're important, that we're valuable enough, that we're lovable enough. And so we change our behavior in order to fit into somebody else's agenda. And while in the short term we get the benefit of them patting us on the back or sending us love or telling us that we're okay, we're silently and sometimes not so silently regretting the fact that we can't be ourselves. But we miss the truth of the matter, and that is we can be ourselves. We just have to have the courage to not be liked. I don't know how many of you are in the public eye or have, put yourself out there, but just because I've expressed myself in a public way, I open myself up to trolls, to, dissent. And I have to take it with a grain of salt. See, for every person that loves my voice, there's another person that can't stand it. For every 5 people that agree with what I say or find value in what I say, there's 5 people that couldn't care less about what I have to say. And this reinforces the old adage, you can't please everyone. If you attempt to please everyone, you please no one, especially yourself. You see, I've gone through this journey myself. I was agreeable. I was, the one that would be the good guy, not rock the boat. But, in the end, it was very unsatisfying. And it took me a while to come to a point where I was more self-reliant than externally dependent. This is not to say that I am unaffected from external feedback. I consider it. It's part of the ratio, part of the information flow, part of the feedback. But I have to tell you, the ratio is like 80 to 20. 80% internally guided, 20% external feedback. I still have to make sure that I'm on the right path and interacting with people in the most appropriate way. But in the end, I surrender to my own inner authority. And because of that, I'm more resilient, a more powerful manifester because my activity is not dependent upon your good esteem. You see, rather than be determined by outside influence, outside judgment, I've decided for myself at my core who I want to be. What are my guiding principles? I've defined it, refined it, and I've upgraded it as I've gone so that I know in my heart what I stand for and who I am. And as a result, I have a concentration of power and the ability to manifest my life and manifest for others in a way that was never possible before I consciously chose who I was going to be. At my core, identifying my guiding principles and my values, my beliefs, I created myself from the inside out. And this is the core of my signature coaching program, The Aligned Self. To my knowledge, there is not a more powerful coaching program on the planet that delivers the quality results that my program does, and I stand behind it. If you think you'd like to learn more about the coaching program, which is going to kick off on July 12th, go to yesdaniel.com and follow the links to learn more. So as I end this, I want to ask you the question, are you living your life, or are you living someone else's idea of what your life should be? I want to leave you with that. So until next time, this is your friend and host, Daniel Denovi, urging you to follow your bliss, live your life from inner signals, be inner directed as you engage in the epic adventure.